Hello and welcome to my movie Pyramids in Bosnia, A New Century Begins. I'm Alex Dolphin, I'm the maker of this movie, and I'm so happy that you are now watching it with me. This movie is a heart project of mine. It was created during the process of becoming aware that the history we have assumed to be the Earth history is far from being all we should know. There is so much more to discover on our planet and also in our entire universe. Our universe is full of life. It is full of civilizations. It is full of different beings that live out there. And we can find traces of these beings that had visited the Earth before, even now. There are monumental buildings to discover. There are huge cities and underground labyrinths of tunnels, and I'm delighted that you are now traveling with me to Bosnia and discover this phenomenon of the pyramids in Bosnia together with me. A lot of fun and joy wishes you, Alex Dolphin.
When I arrived in Bosnia, I could hardly believe what I saw. I was struck by the idea how marvelous Europe must once have looked. Untouched, sappy, full of life. But then humans, the Homo sapiens, we started to ride the tiger. Or am I wrong? Was anybody here who had been prior, earlier than our current civilization? To investigate this very question, we travel to the south of Bosnia. Here, at Daorson, a megalithic wall can be found. Mega is derived from big, huge or great. Lith from stone. So megalith means big stone. In our history books we can read that this wall has been built by the Illyrics in the 4th century before Christ. But topical research by German archaeologists reveal that the very wall is 3,600 years old at least, and there are even older cultural layers beneath. That's why it is in accordance with the true facts that the wall existed already, and the Illyrics simply integrated it in with the town's wall. May we have a look at the opposite side of the globe. In the former Inca town of Machu Picchu, we'll detect the comparable phenomenon as in Bosnia. Even here there are megalithic walls, which are apparently older than the remaining town. The stone blocks are built bigger, more precise and more complex than the rest of the town. This block, for example, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 corners and edges. This one 7, this one 9, this one 5, this one 4, this one 8. There are hardly any true angles at the blocks, and in spite of that they match completely. This construction can only be described as extremely intelligent, and such a wall is utmost stable in structure. The single elements are of different sizes. Moreover, they have got different angles and are variable in weight, and if there might be an earthquake, the vital powers counterbalance their mutual forces. Peru and Bosnia show similar construction. Even on the Easter Islands, comparable principles had been used. But what will happen if anyone compares Peru with Egypt? Isn't that megalith well known to us? Not only the number of corners and angles are in accordance with each other, but even the burls on the surfaces look similar. Let us look back to Bosnia. The very block has a real length of 2.5 meters, a width of 1 meter, and a height of 1 meter. The volume amounts to 2.5 cubic meters. Its weight totals about 5.5 tons. That means 5,500 kilograms. An averagely developed human being may lift 50 kilos. 10 humans, 500 kilos. 100 humans, 5,000 kilos. 110 humans, 5,500 kilos. Do you think that 110 cavemen are capable of standing around that block so they can lift it? Very unlikely. Our ancestors were far more intelligent than we wish to believe. They were part of their megalithic civilization. They knew how to design, how to develop, how to move even heavy objects, and to build stable walls on the right place. To achieve all that, you need logistics and a functioning infrastructure, which are characteristics of an advanced society. The same progressive method of building can be found everywhere on the globe. In this respect, too, walls as well as pyramids. This fact reveals that there must have been a kind of communication across all continents thousands of years before the Greek antiquity. Not far away from Daorson, the Radimlja Necropolis can be found. These white stones, called steci, are, according to our history books, medieval tombstones. We are told that they were part of the common tradition of Bosnian, Catholic and Orthodox churches. These stones are also especially considered to be witnesses of the Bosnian religious community of the Bogomiles, being a dominant group of confession in the area between 12th and 16th century. This is what history publicly published, but all the truth looks quite different. The Bogomar mainly lived in the middle part of Bosnia, but Radimlja lies close to the Mediterranean area. Moreover, blocks like those were found in Croatia, as well as in Montenegro, in Serbia, also in Georgia, and even farther to the Caspian Sea. Such a territory is much larger than that of the Bogomiles. The sign of the cross, in addition, doesn't suit the Bogomiles, as it was strictly rejected by them. There is another matter of fact. More than 66,000 of such blocks were found, and only 6% of them show any ornaments and pictures. Less than 1% disclose their identity with the name of a dead person, and there were only a few bones found. The heaviest block of all weighs 29 tons and lies at the top of one of the highest mountains in Bosnia. How and why should human beings of the Middle Ages haul a 29-ton block to the top of a mountain only to bury a man afterwards? Moreover, it seems rather likely that these blocks had been there previously and were used as tombstones later. This remark can certainly be considered as a delusion by ignorance. It is time to travel to Visoko. There, the Valley of the Pyramids can be found. The Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids is a building complex of several ancient buildings. The Pyramid of the Sun, currently the world's largest pyramid, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Pyramid of the Dragon. The Pyramid of the Sun can also be found very easily in Google Maps. The pyramid is perfectly aligned to north, south, east and west. Also, the pyramids are perfectly aligned. If you connect their peaks, you get an equilateral triangle. Furthermore, there is an access platform, the Pyramid of Love and the Temple of Mother Earth. The tunnel, KTK, which unfortunately leads to a dead end because it was flooded by groundwater, and the kilometer-long network of tunnels in Ravna, where Dr. Sam Osmanagich, the discoverer of the pyramids personally, will lead us through. He has a doctorate in Mayan culture and is professor of anthropology at the American University in Sarajevo. There he also directs the archaeological department. He has been working on uncovering the secrets of the Bosnian pyramids for the last 10 years.
This tunnel entrance I discovered in 2005. And when I wrote my first book in 2005, I said that at that time I could just see two pyramids. I said that we are going to discover underground tunnels. And professors attacked me saying, what tunnels, what he's talking about? But I knew that tunnels were always associated with the pyramids in Egypt, in China, in Mexico. So I was talking to kids, tell me, kids, are there any natural caves in the area, holes, tunnels? So they were taking me to different places. When we came here, there was a little entrance, a little wider area here, and one narrow tunnel, 20 meters. And people call this natural cave, Radimlja. When I was looking at the ceiling, it was half-circle ceiling. I said, this is not natural, this is artificial. So I brought my crew, and we started cleaning a little bit, and then to the left we discovered one tunnel, to the right another tunnel. We moved on, discovered a dry wall, another wall, and then intersection. And then we realized it's actually a network of tunnels. Now we noticed that we have two civilizations. The one that built those tunnels, and the second one that closed them off. They sealed them off, they brought a lot of fill-up material, and they closed everything.
He's paying attention.
He's paying attention, good. So, two civilizations. So what we actually do, we remove that fill-up material. We could see our guys with the wheelbarrows with some, sand and pebbles and rock. That's the fill-up material. So we remove that and clean existing tunnels. So we are not digging, we are cleaning existing tunnels. And once we clean them, we put this wooden support here for the safety reasons. That's according to the government regulations. We need to put the supports for the tourists, volunteers, visitors, and we put the lights. So what you see here, wood and light, this is what we do. Everything else inside is what we found already. Now, you will notice that deeper we go, that we will be actually breathing better and better. That's not very logical, because if it is a coal mining facility underground, after 20 meters you can breathe. You are lacking the oxygen. That is not the case here. It is opposite. We go deeper, we breathe better. And even with so many people inside, we never had a problem step. Now, on this map, this is where we are right now. It says you are here. So we are here. This road is the road outside. And you can see over there is the Pyramid of the Sun. It's all here. So from this entrance to the pyramid, 2.5 kilometers. So the idea is to clean the tunnels that they are taking us towards the Pyramid of the Sun and to get there. When we look at the topographic map, the entrance here, comparing to the Pyramid of the Sun, is approximately 280 meters below the pyramid. So the idea actually is to get under the pyramid eventually. So far we have cleaned and secured 1,650 meters, more than 1.5 kilometers. And today you're going to see probably 1,200 meters. So we'll see majority of what we have cleaned so far. This is a place that we call the place with the egg-shaped monolith. Now look at its surface. Looks like it has like 7 hills. many dowsers told us that below this block there is an underground water flow. Water moves below us. And the water moves from there to this direction. And finally, the width of the water is from here to that other end. So this block is actually showing the presence of water, which direction water moves, how wide and how strong is the flow. For the ancient people, this was an information. For us, in 21st century, this is just a piece of rock. And that's the difference between us and them. Everything you see here was completely filled to the top. So we removed the material, we found a little chamber, we found more walls, more tunnels. So the whole new network of tunnels opened. We open one tunnel, more tunnels. We open another one, more of them. So it's a huge labyrinth, as you will be able to see.
Rosina style.
Yeah.
Hello girl, how are you?
I'm fine. Good.
Hello.
Some new groups this week.
This is what I want to show you. To my right, there is a wall, a dry wall. To my left, there is another one. Those two dry walls are actually closing two tunnels, and those tunnels are parallel. Here we can see the wall, and then we can see the film material, and there is a tunnel there. Here, the same thing. 5 meters later, we have another one, which is parallel to those two. And we just passed one where the other group was, the German group. There is another one. So we have 4 parallel tunnels. Now, 2 of them are closed. The other 2 were closed 5-6 years ago. If we want to clean this tunnel, what we need to do? We remove the stones, we start removing the fill-up material. 10 meters later, we would find another intersection with 3-4 more tunnels. They're all closed. We remove again, we move on, another intersection, but everything has been closed. So, it seems that we know how they were closing those tunnels. They would fill one section up with the material, build the wall. They filled another section, they build the wall. Then they close this section, they build the wall there. So they were systematically closing all the tunnels. It was a huge amount of work, and you don't do that if you want to find a little local secret. You had a big reason to do that, something globally important. Okay, let's move on. What you had? What you had?
Oh, das ist ein großes Ding.
Das ist ein Megalithic.
Und das ist was für ein Material?
Das soll Keramik sein, das ist auf den Menschen gemacht. Aber die haben auch bestimmte Namen, ich weiß nicht, welche Nummer das jetzt ist. K1. Megalith K1, das steht die Tafel. Ja.
The block is about 2 meters 60 long, 1.5 wide, 40 centimeters thick. It is 4 tons, 4,000 kilos in weight. Now, if sun is coming here, it means that there is a good energy here. Dogs are always going where the positive energy is. Cats, on the other hand, they always follow the negative energy. What we do know here, there are 2 underground water streams. One is coming from here, one is coming from there. They meet here and continue over there. So somebody purposely placed this block on the top of underground. Water flows, water moves, releases the energy. they placed this block here. Now, as far as their purpose, people are saying Stonehenge, calendar, ritual places, this and that. But also, they are always located above the ley lines, which are energy lines, and underground water streams. Because the block has the ability to receive the energy that comes from the underground and then slowly release it. But when you have very potent place, when you have a lot of megaliths, they receive, magnifies, release the energy. And that's exactly what we have here. This is a place which was energy very potent. And once you have a place like that, then people can come, do their rituals, ceremonies, getting the energy, healing, whatever they needed to. But that was obviously a very important place. In this material, if we can find a piece of wood from that time, we can get when the first flood was. And a couple of meters which we just passed behind us, we found a piece of wood which was inside the wall. It was not exposed. So when we are enlarging the area, we found a piece of wood which was trapped between sand and the rocks. We analyzed it in Poland, Institute for Atomic Physics in Gliwice, and in Germany, in Kiel. They told us the age was about 34,000 years. Meaning, those first floods were 34,000 years ago, meaning the megalithic culture is older than that. So, it turns out to be the oldest culture here so far. And then, since this was covered, when we uncover it, we found those carvings, something that looks like an arrow. And then we found more carvings here. See, something that looks like letter E, but it's not, because this vertical line does not connect all this. This is not, maybe they're not letters, but this is a literacy. Somebody was communicating. When? 34,000 years plus ago. Very important finding. Now we have second block, third, you will see more blocks, you will see more carvings and symbolism. It's taking us very deep in European past. Now, we wanted to see if this block here is a naturally made or artificially made. So I took samples and sent them to the Institute for Atomic Physics in Zagreb, Croatia. Now, they applied two very sophisticated analyses. They called them Röntgen diffraction analysis and phased analysis. And their conclusion was it was definitely a ceramic. Now, if this is ceramic, it means it's been artificially made, artificially put together. Now, next question was, well, look at this block. This block is over 0.5 meter in thickness. Let's see if anything is inside. The way to do that is to bring the georadar. So we went with the georadar, back and forth, left, right. And georadar is the machine that releases the, like X-rays. They go deep in the ground. And based on the type of the material, X-rays travel at different speed. So basically what they told us was, first, that this block is made in two pieces. The base, exactly where this line is, about 30 centimeters, and the cover, 10 centimeters above. And in between, there is this line. It's like an air pillow. It's air. Why? because it was made in two different times. First this was made, later on the cover was made. That was the first conclusion. And the second conclusion was that exactly here, in the middle, there was an oval object. And they told us it was not the air, it was not the water, it was not ceramic, not metal, but mineral, most probably quartz crystal. So, what do we have now? Below us, underground water flow, 22 meters. It releases the energy. Energy activates the quartz crystal. Quartz crystal starts working. It is surrounded by ceramic, and ceramic vibrates. And the vibration generates electromagnetic field, which we can measure using our scientific instruments. So we bring here oscilloscope and spectrometer, and we can measure two frequencies of electromagnetism, 28 kilohertz and 7.83 hertz. 783, very low, ultra low frequency. 28 kilohertz, we mention very often in association with the energy beam going through the top pyramid. And really, near this block, we measure 28 kilohertz. K1, 28, egg shape. So 28 really flows through the tunnels. The other one was 7.83. This is the frequency which is in science called as the Schumann resonance, the best energy field. People come here, they sit, they relax. You ask them how they feel. Oh, I feel like at home. I feel very pleasant. So again, power of different frequencies. So the ancients knew how to get them. So they were using natural resources, water flows, crystals, ceramics, and they were getting the best energy fields. So that was an amazing experience. Now here, by me, there is a drywall. There is drywall, it means there is a tunnel. And look, sure enough, there is a tunnel which in this case is about 2.5 meters high. Here you can see the edge, you can see the border between this fill-in material and conglomerate is there. So if we had to clean this tunnel, we would remove this, remove that, and then the ceiling, in this particular case, would go up from 2.5 meters to 3 meters, and then to 4. And then it comes down, 3, 2, 1. Then it goes up, 2, 3, 4. So it goes up and down like a sinusoid. Now, sinusoid is something that it's against our logic. I mean, if we build a tunnel, 5 meters, we put fans back and forth, and we have airflow. They did not have fans. But look at the air here. Now we are very deep inside, 250 meters. We breathe normally. And we have only one entrance, the one that we used. Well, when they had this tunnel in the shape of the sinusoid, on the places where the ceiling is low, the pressure that comes from behind is a little bit stronger. When you have the ceiling high, the pressure is lower. When you have the ceiling low, stronger, weaker, stronger, weaker. So we have different air pressure, and different air pressure makes the air move. So when you have one long tunnel, it is like you placed a big fan pushing the air slowly. And when you have hundreds of tunnels, look, 8 of them just here, hundreds of tunnels here, you have constant movement of the air. And sometimes when you walk, you will notice that you have like little breeze coming to your face. And you wonder, how is it possible? But because in front of us, the things are closed. But it's because of this airflow. So things like that tells us that they knew exactly what they were doing. So they were getting one closed, enclosed system. We came to the chamber with the 9 tunnels radiating out. Which one to clean? Took compass, we were looking for south, southeast, and this is it. So we started cleaning, and then in 4 or 5 hours we could see like a little hole in the material. More we cleaned, the hole was getting bigger, so we went through this hole and we found the first open sections that were not closed with the fill-up material. And then it was like intersection from here, one tunnel going to the right, 200 meters, one to the left, 154. Now this water is interesting. We wanted to see if this is a surface water or if it has been here for a longer time. You would expect that water to be filthy, green, full of viruses. It was not the case. Why? Because of the very high concentration of negative ions. And they act as the barrier for viruses, bacteria, microbes in general. So there is an institute in Slovenia, Ljubljana, it is called Bion Institute. And they could see that this water feeds body cells and bodily organs. And that's why they said this was healing water. It even reduces the entropy. So this winter we discovered an open section here which is 127 meters long, running to both directions, left and right. At the end, the sections are blocked, they are closed. And during those sections, there are a lot of side tunnels, 9 side tunnels going left and right.
Which direction is that one?
Now this is more like east-west direction.
It's the other side.
East-west, yeah, the other side.
And how deep we are now underground? How many meters?
Well, right now we are approximately, well, how deep? Here is about 40 meters deep. 40 meters above us is the ground. 40.
And the length of the tunnel?
Don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Now the length, the total length of the open tunnel is 1,650 meters. So you can take a look there, left and right, and take a few photos.
Das Water. Da ist Wasser drin. 2 Tunnels links und rechts. Der wird noch freigegraben. Aber dieser war komplett frei, genauso wie er jetzt ist.
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Ich sehe sie nicht bei mir. Ich bin was falsch eingestellt. Die hängt da rum. Oh, ist noch einer von. Da können wir nicht mehr weiter. Das ist das Ende.
Our next stop is the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. But what is the meaning of the word pyramid? Pera is derived from fire, and mid is derived from middle. Put together it means fire in the middle. So it is not surprising that a creation research team has been able to measure an electromagnetic energy beam on the top of the pyramid.
when you come here, all you see is the forest.
Mais quand on arrive ici, tout ce qu'on voit, c'est de la forêt.
These trees were planted in the 1960s and 1970s.
Ces arbres ont été plantés dans les années 60-70.
People didn't know that this was a structure.
Les gens n'étaient pas au courant que c'était une structure.
In the spring of 2006,
L'été 2006,
April 14,
donc le 14 avril,
we started excavation here.
on a commencé les excavations ici.
That year, we have opened 17 trenches on the pyramid.
Donc cette année-là, on a ouvert en fait 18 tranchées sur la pyramide,
On different sides,
sur différentes parties
different elevations.
et à différents niveaux.
Everywhere we were digging, we were finding construction material.
Partout où on a creusé, on a trouvé grès.
Look at the construction material.
Regardez les matériaux de construction.
Red stones,
Donc des pierres rouges,
gray,
grises,
blue,
bleues,
brown,
marron,
white,
blanc,
different colors.
différentes couleurs.
Here we have green, rose, and some others.
Vert et aussi la lierre.
Remember the material that we called conglomerate.
Souvenez-vous en fait des matériaux qu'on appelle conglomérats.
That's where the tunnels are built.
Donc c'est qui a servi à la construction des tunnels.
They removed a lot of river conglomerate material.
Donc ils ont déplacé en fait énormément de conglomérats de rivières
Material of different colors
avec des matériaux de couleurs différentes
and different sizes.
et aussi de différentes tailles.
Larger one,
Des larges, enfin gros,
medium,
des moyens
and small ones.
et des petits.
So, when they built a network of tunnels
Donc quand ils ont construit le réseau de tunnels,
that run for tens of kilometers underground,
donc qui s'étend sur une dizaine de kilomètres sous le sol,
what did they do with the hundreds of thousands of tons of material? Sunny,
ils ont fait en fait de ces centaines de milliers de tonnes de matériaux,
they used it all up.
ils les ont utilisés entièrement.
Moved it here,
Ils les ont déplacés ici,
mixed with the binder,
ils les ont mélangés avec un liant
and made those blocks.
et ont fabriqué ces blocs.
All they needed was a binder.
Tout ce dont ils avaient besoin était un liant.
This brownish material,
Cette matière marron,
which they found across the valley,
ils l'ont trouvé de l'autre côté de la vallée,
clay.
argile.
Ancient Romans were using clay
Les Romains anciens utilisaient l'argile
as a binder
comme un liant
2000 years ago.
il y a 2000 ans.
They use it here also,
Donc ils l'ont utilisé ici
much before.
longtemps avant.
All they needed was to create higher temperature
Donc tout ce dont ils avaient besoin était de créer une température élevée
and pressure.
et pression.
Now, we sent the samples from this material
Donc on a envoyé des échantillons de ce matériel
to 6 institutes for materials.
à 6 instituts qui travaillent sur les matériaux.
I showed that on slides last night.
Je vous ai montré ça sur les diaporamas hier.
They all told us this was a man-made concrete.
Ils nous ont tous dit que c'était une fabrication, un béton fabriqué par l'homme,
Or geopolymer concrete.
et c'était ou un béton géopolymère.
When it comes to concrete, there are two elements
Donc quand on parle de béton, il y a deux éléments
that determine
qui
the
déterminent
quality of concrete.
la qualité du béton.
The first one is hardness.
Le premier est la résistance,
The,
la dureté, pardon.
the harder the concrete, the better the quality.
Donc plus dur il est, meilleur il est.
Our concretes today
Notre béton aujourd'hui
are in the range
a sont sur une échelle
from 10 megapascals to 60 megapascals.
de 10 mégapascales jusqu'à 60 mégapascales.
60 megapascals being very quality concretes from Germany and the US.
Donc 60 mégapascales est un béton de très bonne qualité des États-Unis ou d'Allemagne.
The concrete here
Le béton ici
is in the range
est dans une échelle
from 73 megapascals
de 73 mégapascales
to 134.
à, donc entre une échelle de 73 jusqu'à 134 mégapascales.
So, the best quality concrete ever.
Donc c'est le béton de... Mais il n'y a jamais eu un béton de 15 000 ans.
So, the soil has been accumulated for 15,000 years.
Donc le sol, la terre s'est accumulée pendant 15 000 ans.
Meaning the structure is much older.
Donc ce qui signifie que la structure est beaucoup plus ancienne.
Sunny is very boring because he has heard this lecture so many times.
Donc Samy s'ennuie un peu parce qu'il a entendu cette conférence beaucoup de fois.
So, 15,000 is the minimum age of the structure.
Donc 15 000 ans est l'âge minimum de la structure.
Last night I showed you the organic material
Donc hier, je vous ai montré en fait ce matériel organique
we discovered between two layers of concrete,
que l'on a découvert entre deux couches de béton,
like in a sandwich.
comme un sandwich,
Not here,
pas ici,
150 meters away from here.
donc à 150 mètres d'ici,
29,200 years.
29 000 ans,
Radiocarbon age.
donc c'est une mesure par la différence de 15 ans.
So 34,000 years old is the structure
Donc cette structure a 34 000 ans,
with the best concrete
avec le meilleur béton
and the best orientation
et la meilleure orientation,
and pyramid in shape
et aussi la forme de pyramide,
with the tunnels underneath.
avec des tunnels dessous.
This is a construction complex
C'est un complexe de structure
that changes our view of the ancient history.
qui change notre point de vue au regard de l'histoire ancienne.
So what do we do now?
Donc qu'est-ce que l'on fait maintenant?
We need to change all the history books.
On a besoin de changer tous les livres d'histoire,
This is huge,
c'est énorme.
not only for little Bosnia.
Donc pas seulement pour la petite Bosnie.
Thank you, we go to the other side.
Merci, on passe sur l'autre.
Now we're going to pay a visit to the Pyramid of the Moon. We just looked at the pyramids of Love and of the Sun and currently stand at the foot of the Pyramid of the Moon. Its architecture is terraced. At a height of 190 meters, it's the second tallest pyramid in the world. In comparison, the famous Cheops pyramid measures 147 meters in height. Its terraces are slightly inclined to the internal part and lead rainwaters beneath the pyramid. Measurements affirm that there is an accumulation of underground water which is linked with the Pyramid of the Dragon and of the Sun. At the excavation point number 20 of the pyramid's western flank, organic material has been found among the layers. The radiocarbon dating process resulted with an age of 12,350 years. Consequently, the Pyramid of the Moon must have been built before the age of the Sumerians, Babylonians, and the ancient Egyptians. Our final run-up spot in the Valley of the Pyramids can be seen as the Tumulus. A tumulus is an artificial hill with a conical shape. The tumulus near Radimlja can be found only 5 kilometers off the pyramid complex and is of 32 meters in height. It had been built out of concentrated layers of megalithic concrete blocks and clay. The weight of the blocks is roughly about 10 tons. In addition, it's striking that even here the layers are inclined towards the inner part of the building.
Yeah, it's a perfect choice for me.
It's cool. So could you step in?
Yeah. It's exactly mine.
What's interesting?
You were here a few thousand years and I was one like...
The analyses of the concrete probations affirm the use of a geopolymeric cement. At the top of the tumulus, there is equally an electromagnetic beam of energy with a radiating frequency of 28 kHz. It's this ultra-short wave frequency that supports our mind, and it will doubtless help to change our abilities in an easier way to transcend into a meditative condition of mind. Even the sheep are content in this environment. Our final stop is Zavidovici. This journey truly opened my eyes. There is no doubt that it might be a good start to read about such things, but then mostly a faint feeling of some trouble will remain in one's stomach. A megalithic civilization that had high-tech knowledge available built pyramids up to the height of 220 meters, and in spite of that fact existed in harmony with nature. That seems to be a bit of science fiction. Anyway, the more credible information I collected from different sources, the more I lost my doubts. Evidence is at hand, manifold. It's up to us humans to take the risk, to look at the details more precisely. Such perfectly formed spherical stone balls of different sizes have been found on the globe everywhere. These balls of Bosnia were eroded by a high flood out of the ground. They're identical and complete with 9 elements of natural rock, but 2 elements were added to them. Manganese, this element is used in our present industry to increase the degree of material hardness of steel production, and limestone, a binding agent. On the whole, stone balls were discovered at 20 different spots in Bosnia. Most of them can be seen here in the vicinity of the village called Zavidovici. During the 1960 troubles, a greater part of the stone balls were destroyed. The native population thought they might find gold inside. Dr. Sam Osmanagich and his team were the first to have really researched these stone balls. By their analyses, they could prove without any doubt that they weren't a natural phenomenon. Recently, an additional discovery provided some exciting catchlines. In March 2016, The largest, most voluminous stone ball of all in Europe was found in the neighborhood of the village of Radimlja. The radius is about 1.5 meters and the bulk is estimated at 30 tons. A group of dowsers realized that close to the stone balls the human aura improves extraordinarily in efficiency and enlarges simultaneously. The same effect Dr. Sam Osmanagich could ascertain on a stone ball in Sweden at Anundshög, 150 kilometers west of Stockholm. There is an area with a tumulus and several circles of stone with a stone ball in the middle. When Dr. Sam stood himself there at the middle on the stone ball, the president of the Swedish Dowsers Unification could confirm the following result. The aura of Dr. Sam began to grow slowly in this circle. At first, a few centimeters. Then meters. "20, 30, 40, 50 meters. Dr. Sam describes the feeling as if his body was full of energy and totally vivid. A kind of power that radiates to the exterior. A big and strong aura offers better protection, good health, and one may start to develop his spiritual senses such as clairvoyance, clearness, or to develop telepathic communication. Then the dowser asked him to stand on the top of the tumulus. After having done this, so she laid a piece of metal beneath his feet. Why metal? It is a conductor of the flow of energy. His crown chakra opened widely and vitality began to flow through his body without restraint. The education and the schools of the past were different. They realized the energy of geometric forms and lines, such as a pyramid, cone or spherical ball. And they pursued to be transformed into figures of light and beloved creatures. We're just on the way into a new age, an age of perception and innovation, an age of love, an age of peace and reconciliation. June 21st, 2015 has been a day that offered great hope to me. It granted hope for a future full of love on this planet. 100 humans of different countries, languages, religions and continents met each other respectively at the top of the pyramid of the sun to celebrate hand in hand the summer solstice. That may unite us all in the presence of a wonderful creation.
This project is teaching us that pyramids are not about pharaohs, kings, dead bodies. They are about the energy, spirituality, healing, about the living communities. This project will teach generations of archaeologists and geologists that in order to understand pyramids in Egypt, China, Peru and Mexico, first of all they need to apply interdisciplinary scientific approach, not only archaeological. And then they need to measure energy phenomena and the effects of that phenomena on our bodies, physical, but also spiritual, on our aura, which got extended when we are under or on the pyramid, about our spiritual senses. Megalithic sites from Stonehenge, Karnak, or pyramids in Bosnia, China, Mexico, were the places where we would, by extending our aura, advance and develop our spiritual senses. With spiritual senses, we could become a free people. These were the field schools of the past. So instead of having governments who try to control us and monopoly, we need to become a free people again. This is one of the most important places on the planet. It's not about one more archaeological discovery. It's about widening our consciousness. It's about thinking different way. I'm very proud to see volunteers coming here every year. In the last 5 years, 2,000 of them, from 62 countries and 6 continents. It has become the real power. Sometimes the dark forces want to stop good stuff, but then we are showing the way. No matter what they try to do, we keep finding our way through, and we're going to continue this way. 10 years after we started excavation, we learned a lot. 10 years from now, we will know much, much more. And through the tunnels, through the underground, we are hoping to get much closer to the pyramid. And it seems that this complex is different than any other in the world. Deeper we go in the tunnels, the vibration level is rising, negative ions, much higher concentration. We are becoming purer, cleaner, physically, mentally. So hopefully, in the years to come, we will all become the changed people. Today we have several groups who offer to be a part of this ceremony on the top of the pyramid. June 21st is a very important day, the summer solstice. To the calendar, we know this is the first day of summer. But also this is the day when the daylight is the longest, the night is shortest. This is the day when our planet is the strongest. Of course, until 12,000 years ago, our planet was much stronger than today. But I think if we understand spiritually the planet, if you accept that finally it is our mother, Earth, then eventually it will grow stronger with us. When we were naming the pyramids, we gave them the names of the sun and the moon, dragon, knowledge, Mother Earth, which you need to live in balance with, and the pyramid of love. Sometimes archaeologists are attacking us, saying, why did you give the pyramids such romantic names? Why didn't you not name them structure number 5 or structure number 10? They don't realize that words are very powerful, and the most powerful word is the word love. And really, all the big figures from the past are teaching us about the love. Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad, they're all talking about the love, not about the fear. And this pyramid is what it needs to bring to the world. When you name one big structure, the love pyramid, the idea is that the structure and the love colored the whole valley. And this is the type of messages we want to send to the world.
And now my beautiful sisters, Sonat and Serenat, are coming.